Banner, it appears that the first half of season 5 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has come to an end.
What are you? Are you supposed to be like an automaton, like Enoch?
Yes, I am.
Well, can you just like blow up like him then?
That's messed up, dude. Come on.
Come on, man. Be a professional. Stay in character.
Hello and welcome back into the Bro Force Squad's review of Season 5 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This is our review on Episode 10 titled Past Life. I am Jeff Hornacek. With me, as always, is the mad scientist, Brian Banner, here to review this episode as we do all of our TV episodes on our 4 criteria: the acting, the story, our favorite scene, and theories going forward. Brian, we got a little bit of a break after this from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think we needed it. We were getting a little too close with the show. So we'll take some time to ourselves. So what did you think of the way they wrapped up the first half of the season, specific to the acting in this past episode?
I loved it. I thought everybody did very strong. Everybody looks great going into the All-Star break. They needed it. Everybody looks fatigued, but strong finish to the first half of the season. I'm glad that Deke is dead, and I'm glad that
Hell yeah.
Kasius is dead. Even though I was kind of on board with him after the last episode, you really showed this episode that he was batshit crazy and that he wasn't going to be good enough to continue the season. But I thought that they gave him a good ending, and he did a good job with what he had, I thought.
I loved how Kasius, we finally got to see him as a badass after he drank that 5-hour energy or whatever that thing was and just started going nuts.
Yeah, he kind of looked like me when I would drink 4 Locos. But, like, not the new kind, like the old kind when they, like, almost killed you.
That the FDA was like, oh, we have to ban this. It's killing people. And we're like, well, now we don't want it.
Except I went and bought it all.
Acting here, I hate to sound like a broken record, but Jeffrey Ward as Deke, for me, never came around as a character. He had some real meat on the bone in this episode, and I feel like he kind of fucked it up. And that case in point was the emotional scene he had with Joel Stoffer, who plays Enoch, who, let's keep in mind, has to play a robot or an automaton incapable of showing emotion, and he acted circles around Jeffrey Ward, I thought, in that scene.
You know it's bad when somebody playing a robot conveys more emotion in his lines than you do.
Exactly. And we got to go cheer on top. Natalie Cordova-Buckley, who has played Yo-Yo in the show, she's always been great, but her acting in this episode is some of the best TV acting I've seen in a while. So
she showed us why she got this role.
Oh my gosh, she was unbelievable. I did not expect to get that kind of stuff from her character in this episode. That leads us right into the story. They closed off this arc, I think, pretty well. It seemed like a clean break where I'm not sure exactly what the repercussions will be, obviously going back to present day. I'm assuming that is where they will end up. But what did you think of the way that they kind of closed off the whole Kasius arc and with some of the Inhumans on the freighter?
Well, we'll get to this in a minute, but killing Kasius, the way they killed him was fucking cool. That was really the okay. We're moving in the next direction. I don't like how they didn't show us that everybody makes it back to the present, but everybody's making it back to the present, right?
I don't know, man. I would think so, but this is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The second you feel comfortable, they slap us upside the head.
Yeah, I also liked how they showed us how Tess and Flint, who I know we're already past acting, but I'm sorry. I tried like 4 episodes to defend him. You can't. He was fucking terrible. And he's just so bad.
Yeah, he was not as awful to me as Jeffrey Ward, who they kept shoving down our throat. The story, so here's how I would kind of sum it up. I was never really a huge fan of Kasius as a villain in general, but one thing I really did like about him was the way that he altered the team dynamic. It was cool in the sense of they didn't have much continuity together, the main actors. They were constantly being separated and reunited. But I think that did a great job of us actually feeling how much they cared about each other. And this is stuff that this show has done such a good job of. They put in the legwork to earn this over the course of 4.5 years. So when these guys get reunited, we kind of feel it too as we're watching the show. We're like, fuck yeah, get back, go for it. Get engaged.
We still haven't had a scene where they are all in the same room yet.
Yeah, and I think that kind of... So in the sense that Kasius was able to pit them and separate them this season and have them be sprawled out and us feel the stakes of that was a cool part of it for me. So story-wise, I like the way they wrap this up. I'm very interested to see if they do actually make it back to present day when we come back in early March. Best scene in this episode. There's one that was maybe not our favorite scene, but I think we both agree it was the best scene. So do you want to take that one, or is there another one you want to
Let's just go ahead and say it out there, then we'll both say our favorite scene. It was the Yo-Yo scene is the one we're talking about, where she's talking to herself.
Right. Yo-Yo talking to Yo-Yo, which sounds like something that someone in an insane asylum would say.
I'd watch that porn.
Didn't say it was a porn, so it's a little weird that that's where you go. But that was definitely one of the most powerful scenes of the season. And, man, like we said, Natalie Cordova-Buckley just, again,
knocked it out of the park.
Give her the game ball, dude, for this episode. Did you have another one that you liked? Because I had one.
I really liked the scene, the fight scene with Kasius, whatever the fuck his name was. I was doing so good this episode, and I still, whatever the fuck his name is.
But now you know it, and you're just purposely doing it?
I didn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Right. But his fight scene with Mac, I thought was really cool. And then Gemma coming and saving the day, putting that little thing in his ear. And I'm not going to admit that the shotgun axe thing was cool.
It was fucking cool,
dude. But it was not cool.
I think I texted you 11 exclamation points after that scene because it was sick. It was awesome. For me, my favorite scene was the Daisy and Coulson dialogue when she was adamant that she didn't want to go back to present day. That's like me when we've been to a bar and I got kicked out for throwing up there once, and you're like, dude, they won't even remember you. I'm like, I can't endanger everyone and get us all kicked out. I felt very much like Daisy in that moment.
But I thought that was her too.
And then the revelation, obviously, that Coulson is sick was kind of tugging at my heartstrings, and who knows what'll happen with that the rest of the season, which actually brings us perfectly into the last part of the review, which is theories. So, Banner, what do you have on the back burner for what could happen in the second half of the season?
So they're going back to some time. We don't know if they're going back to the present. Like, we don't know if the monolith is going to work. We don't know if this device worked or if it's even when it's going to take them back. So they could. Yeah. They can go anywhere.
Yeah, how do they know? There's no buttons on it. There's no, how do they know where it's going to take them?
Exactly. So with that being said, it is wide open. I'm not even going to try and figure out where they're going. What I'm going to kind of go off is what you said about Coulson being sick. That puzzle, that jigsaw puzzle, design on his chest looked awfully familiar if you've seen Iron Man 2.
Yes.
So, and we decided it was palladium poisoning?
Right? I believe it was, yeah.
So, does he have palladium poisoning from A, getting stabbed with whatever that Kree guy stabbed him with? Is it from his robotic arm? Is it just being in space? Is it a side effect of coming back from the dead using the Kree blood and all the way back to Tahiti?
Is he doing drugs? We don't know.
It could be black tar heroin. We're not sure.
I actually wasn't even thinking about him getting cut by that Kree guy. I'm glad you brought that up. That could be what it is. I'm going to say what we're all thinking. So Kasius in this episode went out of his way to reference his father. He was like a fraternity brother at SMU. Like, we get it. Your dad's important. And I'm starting to wonder, who is his dad? Is he a son of Thanos? Is he a descendant of maybe the Black Order? And then also with him, what kind of diarrhea is he going to get after eating that black goo that he ate? Those are all three equally important questions that I have regarding him. I don't think anyone knows. Any theories before we let our faithful fans go, Banner?
No, I mean, I am very pleased with. I'm happy that we're at the season finale. I was getting a little fatigued being at the lighthouse and being in the future. I'm glad we're switching gears now and heading back to wherever they're going. It's going to be a nice change of pace that I think we needed. So I'm excited for where we have to come. I think they're also setting up for if they don't get a sixth season, where they can either end it or do another season.
Yeah. It'll be interesting because they take their hiatus this year when Black Panther comes out, so we won't actually get a huge tie into the movie, but we have time to focus on Black Panther.
That we know of.
Thoughts we know of. That's true. All right, for Brian Banner, I've been Jeff Hornacek. We are the Bro4 Squad. Give us a follow on Twitter at Bro4 Squad. Subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes. Bro for Squad, 3 words. If you guys could leave us a 5-star iTunes review, we would really appreciate it. And as always, check out everything that we're doing in our world famous Squad blog at our website, bro4squad.com. Thank you guys, and we will see you for the second half of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So honestly, did you think my Enoch impression was pretty good?
No.
But like honestly, what did you think? You can tell me.